All right, jumping to the 400. The 400 is going to be interesting this year for various reasons. We don't have Fred Curley, who just blew the 400. He had it on a chokehold last year on the NCAA scene, but Fred Curley is gone, so the doors are wide open for somebody to come through and take that lead or follow in his footsteps. And also for the other reason why it's going to be interesting, because this year we have a blade runner. I don't know if that's going to be the politically correct term to use, so I apologize if I'm being incorrect. But we have a blade runner for the first time in the NCAA scene, and Hunter Woodhall. He's at Arkansas, so this would be the first time that they'll ever have a blade runner running with other collegiate runners. So we'll see how this plays out. But he's at Arkansas, so we'll see. The top returner is Nathon Allen from Auburn. He's a sophomore. And Nathon Allen, if it wasn't for Fred Curley last year, Nathon Allen would have been the man. He ran 44.19 outdoors, and he ran that in the semifinals at the IAAF World Championships in 2017. He didn't run indoors, but outdoors he got second in the 400 to Fred Curley. So we'll see. He surprisingly, Nathon Allen returned, because getting fifth in the finals at the World Championships, he could have clearly gone professional, but he came back to Auburn, and I think he's ready to mix it up and see what he can do with in the 400 this year. Maybe he has a sour taste in his mouth after getting beat by Fred Curley last year, so maybe he wants to be the man and up his ante for 2018. Will London from Baylor, he has PRs of 46.26 indoors and 44.47 outdoors. Will got 8th indoors in the 2016 and 14th outdoors this past 2017. He got 3rd at the USATF Nationals, and he was a part of the USA team that for the IAAF World Championships in 2017. So Will London, he had a very good outdoors. Obviously, the indoors didn't probably go as well as he would like, but he definitely redeemed himself come outdoors, and I feel like he can carry that momentum to indoors and maybe be a factor, but we'll see. Michael Norman from USC, he's a sophomore. I talked about him in the 200. He's run 44.60 outdoors. Indoors, he didn't run the 400 last year, or he didn't qualify for NCs. I'm sorry, he didn't qualify for NCs from indoors. He kind of had a slow season to starting off his season indoors last year, but outdoors he got 4th in the NCAA championships as a true freshman. So this year, I'm definitely looking out for Michael Norman. If anybody's going to beat Nathon Allen, I feel like Michael Norman has all the tools to do it. Akeem Bloomfield, he's also from Auburn. He's a sophomore from Jamaica as well. Both Nathon Allen and Akeem Bloomfield are both from Jamaica, and they're at Auburn together. Akeem ran 45.43 indoors and 44.74 outdoors in the 400. And he got indoors. He got 10th in NCs and 5th outdoors as a true freshman. So Akeem Bloomfield right there with his training partner Nathan and countryman Nathon Allen. So if they can continue improving again, they might be a bad 1-2 duo in that 400 this year. Auburn, they could be tearing it up in that Open 400 and that 4x4 too. So we'll see. Malik Curley from Texas A&M, the brother of Fred Curley, who was in the shadows of Fred Curley last year. He got 3rd indoors in 2017. He has PRs of 45.68 indoors and 44.74 outdoors. And, those are respectable times. And they're not what his brother ran, but, those are respectable times. He got 3rd indoors. Outdoors, he got 12th. He didn't make the finals, but he was there. And, again, his brother's gone, and maybe he can step up and be the man at Texas A&M. So we'll look out for Malik Curley. Conley Fusasi from Florida. He has PRs of 45.57 indoors and 45.43 outdoors. His PRs are not in the 44s like everybody else that I've mentioned outdoors, but indoors he's been right there, 45.57. He's one of the top returners. Indoors, he got DQ'd in the prelims of the 2017 Indoor Championships. And outdoors, he didn't make it. But, I had to mention him because he's right there indoor with everyone else running 45.57. And Florida, Florida they always have some good 400 runners. So I expect for Conley to improve, and maybe he could be a factor come this season. The dark horses for the men's 400. I feel like Obi Abakwi from Arkansas. He's one to watch out for. He got 13th indoors in 2017. Outdoors, he got 20th. He didn't make the finals in either indoor and outdoor, but he was there. He ran 45.73 indoors, and outdoors he ran 45.54. If he can improve and be consistent 45 low or potentially 44 high runner, then he could be right there making the finals this year. But he made it both indoors and outdoors to NC, so you got to be in it to win it. So the impact freshman and junior college transfers. We have Dwight St. Hilaire, who I mentioned in my first video. He's from Kentucky. He's a freshman from Kentucky. He's running 46.30 outdoors, but he's already run 32.83 indoors in the 300 so far this year. So we're going to keep an eye out for Dwight St. Hilaire. Also, Zach Shinik he's a freshman from the University of Southern California, USC. He's a top U.S. recruit as a freshman. He's run 45.20 out of high school, so we'll keep an eye out for him. Also, a junior college transfer who's now at Oregon, Emilian. He's run 46.03 outdoors. So again, that's not amazing time outdoors, but he's coming from a junior college ranks, and we'll see what they can do with him at Oregon. But I feel like he could be an impact transfer and score some points for them. So we'll see. That was the men's 400. All right, jumping to the men's 60 and 110 hurdles. Last year indoors it took 778 to qualify for the NC, so we'll see what they do this year. The top returner from NCs last year, both indoor and outdoor, is your man Grant Holloway from Florida. So he's a sophomore there at Florida, but he had the most amazing freshman season in my opinion. He ran 7:58 indoors in the 60 hurdles and 13:39 outdoors in the 110 hurdles. He was a champion both indoor and outdoor as a true freshman. He got 4th at USATF Nationals. At NCs, he was all over the place outdoors. He ran the 4x1, he ran the 4x4, and he long jumped. He scored 20 points at NC, so he beat some of those teams out there, just one person. But Grant Holloway, he is the man. He can do it all. I'm definitely excited to see where his future lies, and I think it's going to be hard to beat him. He's a true competitor in my opinion. Every time I've seen him step out on that track, I feel like he gives 110%, if not 200%. So I just feel like that if he stays healthy, that he can definitely run faster than what he's running. He can jump further than what he's jumped, and I feel like Grant Holloway is definitely going to leave a mark and a legacy at Florida if he stays all 4 years and he stays healthy all 4 years. He can definitely leave his mark and his legacy at Florida, which is hard to do because there's been some great Florida athletes that have come through the ranks over the years. Chad Zallow from Youngstown State. He has PRs of 761 in the 60 hurdles and 1368 in the 110 hurdles. Chad got 3rd indoor in 2017, and he got 9th outdoor. He didn't make the finals outdoor, but Chad, he has some pretty good times. He's already run this past December, and like I've said in my first video that I talked about Chad runs like week after week after week after week. Every week Chad's running. I feel like they need to slow him down so he can be ready to compete with the likes of Grant Holloway come NCs. But you definitely, if he can continue to build off of the momentum that he's had every year of improving, then he could potentially run with Grant. But if he's running every week and he's not ready to peak at the right time, it might be some issues there. Ashton Davis from UC Berkeley. He has PRs of 771 and 1350. He got 6 indoors in the 2017. Outdoors, he didn't make it, but he got 6 indoors, and he's run 771 in the 60 hurdles and 1350 in the 110 hurdles. So he has a potential to make it. Marquise Morris from USC. He's run 773 and 1356 in the 110 hurdles. He got DQ'd in the prelims and indoor, and outdoor he was 6th in the 110 hurdle. So he's already made the finals. He's already performed on, at the big stage, and he got 6. So if he can build on that momentum, potentially make it indoors and outdoors, he'd be one to watch out for. Also from Alabama, we have Reuben Walters. He has PRs of 772 and 1339. He was 5th indoors and 2nd outdoors. So Reuben Walters, he was 2nd to Grant Holloway and then outdoors, and he was 5th indoors. So Reuben Holloway definitely is one of the, Reuben Walters is one of the big returners outside of Grant Holloway in the hurdles this year. So we're going to watch out for him. Isaiah Moore from South Carolina, he has PRs of 777 and 1347. He didn't qualify indoors this past indoors in 2017. Outdoors he got 8th, so he made the final. So he's right there making the final. So we have a few returners that were in the finals last year outdoors. We have the 1st, the 2nd, the 6th, and the 8th person, and then the 9th and Chad Zallow, who didn't make it. So a lot of the guys that were top hurdlers last year, were especially in Grant Holloway and Reuben Walters, are back. So the men's 60 hurdles indoors and the 110 hurdles outdoors are going to be a good, interesting race to watch. The dark horses, it's going to be hard to break through this top tier talent in the hurdles this year. But if anybody can do it, maybe Daniel Roberts from Kentucky. He's a sophomore at Kentucky. He's run 771 and 1389. He didn't make it indoor or outdoor, but he's already run he's already run this current indoor season a few weeks ago. He's run 771 in the 60 hurdles, and that's a PR for him. So he's coming off of a freshman campaign, and so he's at Kentucky, which is a great hurdling school. So he can build off of what he's done as a freshman. He didn't have that big freshman year like a Grant Holloway, but if he can build, he can get up to that point. So we'll keep an eye out on Daniel Roberts. Another sophomore, Braxton Kennedy from Oregon. He's run 772 and 1393. He was 13th indoors, and outdoors he didn't make it. So he did make it indoors. He qualified for NC's indoors as a true freshman, but he didn't make it outdoors. Again, he didn't have that phenomenal, crazy year like a Grant Holloway. But the men's 60 hurdles and the 110 hurdles in college are different from the high school. You can be great high school runners, but since they grow up in height, you have to adjust to it. And I feel like maybe Daniel Roberts and Braxton Kennedy, they don't have the height that Grant Holloway does, so that gave Grant Holloway an edge over them. But if they can get used to that higher hurdle height, I feel like as sophomore this year that they can both break into that top talent, and they can both make it indoors and outdoors, and who knows. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out for Daniel Roberts of Kentucky and Braxton Kennedy of Oregon. The impact freshman and junior college transfers. We have I don't know where this guy's at. He's from out of junior college. He's run 788 and 1381. That's Robert Dunning. He was in junior college. He was a sophomore in junior college last year. So I don't know what school he's at, if he's even at a school. But I noticed that he ran 788 and 1381. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for him. Joseph Anderson, he's a freshman from Oregon. He's one to watch out for. He was one of the top high school hurdlers last year, but he's a freshman. So again, with that height increase from from high school to college, it's going to be hard for him. But also Isaiah Cunningham, he's a freshman at Florida State, and the same issue with Joseph Anderson. We'll just have to keep an eye out and see if they don't impact the first year. It's not I don't think it's a deal breaker, but they were good. Those were two of the top 2 or 3 high school hurdlers out of high school. So we'll see how they transition when they get to college. So yeah, the men's hurdles is looking to be an interesting year. I feel like Grant Holloway is just going to keep going. I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to beat him. And if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to run some pretty amazing times. So look for the men's 60 and 110 hurdles this season to be a barn burner. I expect it to be really fast and really competitive. So we'll see how that goes. The men's 400 hurdles. The top returners, we have Ryan Benjamin from UCLA. He's run 48.33. He got second in NC's in 2017. Kamar Mowat from Arkansas, he ran 48.49. That was his PR, and he got third in 2017 at outdoors. Kenneth Salmon from North Carolina, he has a 48.60 PR. He got fourth 2017 outdoors. And also we have Robert Grant from Texas A&M. He has a PR of 49.15. He got eighth in 2017. So some of the top returners are all from 2017. They made the finals, and so we'll look to them to continue that 400-meter hurdles marks in 2018. Jumping to the men's 4x1 for outdoors. Houston, they returned all four of their runners. They were the NC champions in 2017, and they returned all four of their runners. They ran 38.34. That was their season's best last season, and they returned all four of their runners. And with Cameron Burrell on the team and Eli Thomas Hall, I feel like Houston is going to definitely be the winners in 2018. Granted, they have to make the baton around the track, and they have to qualify. They have to make it. They have to be there in the final. So I can't just hand them the win. But all things fair, all things going well, Houston should be the one to watch out for. LSU, they returned three of their four runners. They had a season's best of 38.57 last year. Oregon returns two of their four. They add several freshmen to their team. They ran 38.76 last year. Arkansas returns three of their four. They had a season's best of 38.77. Florida, they returned three of their four. They ran a season's best last season of 38.73. And then you add Texas A&M, who always has a good 4x1. So in my opinion, those will be like the top 5 or 6 teams. So we'll see how it plays out. But I feel like Houston will have the advantage. And I mean, LSU always have great relays. Texas A&M always has great relays too. So Florida, you have Grant Holloway on there, and you're adding some impact recruits and some of the ones that's already there. Oregon, they burst on the scene last year, making it to the final of the 4x1. That was the first time in a while that they made it to the finals at NCs. They with their school record. They ran 38.76. Again, they have a new program going on the men's side and the sprint side going on right now. The same coaches coaching the women. So I feel like Oregon, we have to watch out for Oregon's men 4x1. They have several freshmen that they've recruited and a transfer. So who knows what they're going to do in that 4x1 this year? But we'll keep an eye out on them. But I don't think anyone's beating Houston if everybody's healthy and everybody gets to stick around the track. I think Houston's going to be the one to beat, in my opinion. The men's 4x4. Auburn, you have Nathon Allen, you have Akeem Bloomfield, those two, and they returned three of their four runners. They had a season's best of 303. Actually, to have that much talent on their team last year, I would have expected them to do better than what they did, but maybe they were just giving it all they had in that Opal 400, and they didn't have nothing left for the 4x4. But this year, with Texas A&M losing a few of their runners and Florida losing a few of their runners, I expect Auburn to step up to the mantle and be one of the top teams. Florida returns two of the four runners off of their 4x4. A&M, they return three of their four from the indoor record team that they set, but they lose Fred Curry, so that's a huge leg for them, and that's going to be hard to replace. So I feel like that might bump them down a little bit. And Iowa returns all four of their fifth place indoor and third outdoor team that ran 301. So Iowa pretty much has the top 4x4 that's coming back in 2018 season. So we'll see how that pans out. But I mean, I feel like with the talent that Auburn has, Auburn should be the heavy contender. But Iowa had ran better than them last season with that same team that Auburn has, and Auburn was not able to beat Iowa, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, the 4x1 and the 4x4 are both exciting relays to watch, and I'll definitely keep my eye out to see how that plays out. The 4x4, there's going to be another team that breaks through and comes through with some new talent and some new faces that wasn't there last season. And again, you can never count out schools like Texas A&M, Florida, Arkansas, So LSU, so they lost a couple of their big runners with Michael Cherry, but they're always out there recruiting. So we'll see what they do. But again, between Iowa and Auburn, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go with Iowa. I feel like Iowa, like I said, they return all 4 of their runners, and if they can build off of that, that'll be huge. Like a huge feat for them to beat the likes of like Florida and A&M and LSU. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the 4x4 is gonna definitely be interesting. So I'll keep my eye out for that.